Yeah. Who-Bangin Sports, DJ Bigboss, right here, live and direct. It's Saturday morning, playoff weekend. And guess what? I got my man Big Ragoo in the house with me. What's up, big bro?
What's going on, big man? Ready to bang these game out and give some people some good knowledge, drop some winners on them, and cash some tickets.
As we always do, man. Naturally, me and you, we connect, and we done some good shows, especially last week on the NFL. I had some good picks out there. You had some good picks out there. The national championship game. If you just pulled up in the chat right now, you might as well stay here for a little while because some good stuff gonna be coming your way real soon. To my people out there watching, man. But how you feeling today, Big Ragoo? How was your capping week last week?
It was pretty decent. I mean, we finished up pretty good, with all the, like you said, the college games and the NFL. The NFL went pretty good. So I'm excited about today and try to pluck some more winners off.
That's right. You call it plucking some winners off, huh? Just like going out there, just pick the spots.
Picking low-hanging fruit. Just grabbing that money, little bags of cash everywhere.
That's a good way to look at it, man. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, so we got a few games. Before we touch on the NFL games, let's talk about transitioning because, me and yourself, like, we pretty big college football bettors, and, this transition thing of, you got your hockey, you got your college basketball, the NBA. How do you handle the transition between sports for yourself, Ragoo?
Yeah, well, like I'm mainly, if I had to categorize, breaking down games as far as like coming from one sport to the other, I'm totally focused on football during football season, without a doubt. And then once football season's done, I'll like right now, like the other day, I made a couple hockey plays. So I'm like not totally out of the realm on what's going on in the other sports, but my total focus is on football when I'm doing football, because football is a once a week thing and it requires a lot of attention. That's why. But the hockey and basketball per se are kind of like the same thing. Where you got usually when they do a travel span, they're like in a certain region, so you can kind of focus in on those areas as far as travel is concerned. But what I like to do once football is done, I'll section off, like we talked about this, I believe last time. Like there's so many, like basketball, NHL is not too bad because you only have 30 teams. But like a college basketball, you got like 300 teams if you want to break it down to the smaller schools. So it can be overwhelming. So what I like to do is just kind of take a couple conferences to kind of dip back into it and just start, looking at those conferences. I know you're a big time Mountain West guy, and that's your expertise. So, you could probably cap those in your sleep, but like I like to look at the SEC and the ACC and the Big East. So I'll start focusing on them. And then, maybe if there's a big time game on, like you don't bet a game just because it's on, obviously. But if you see some value in a game, you cap it. But just breaking down the conference by conference, like I start out with a couple conferences in the college ranks.
Yeah, me myself, I'm pretty much just like you said. Like it's crazy the similarity sometimes. So I do take my football real serious. I'm all over the college at the beginning of the season. I kind of merged myself in the NFL, and then I run it all the way out. And then when it reached these bowl games and stuff like that, I mean, it was almost a little relief off of my shoulder for college football to go away, because it was time to start cranking up to getting into the other sports, and I felt like I was missing a little bit, because I usually in college basketball, I like to hit those early tournaments and try to find some sleepers up in there, and so it's been difficult balancing them all. So like I said, after the game on Monday, I was like, cool, I can go into my college thing. So I did break it down, choose 4 conferences. I got the Ohio Valley Conference, I got the West Coast Conference, I got the Mountain West, and I got the Big East. And you got to keep it like that with college basketball, or you won't have no games to bet. Like, I'm a capper. I like playing every day, at least 5 to 6 days a week. And if I was just doing Mountain West, I'd probably only get 2 or 3 games in the week. So I had to kind of spread myself out with those, which is a little more difficult because, it's a lot of teams. But basically in college basketball, I try to, pick from the tree. So I try to find, the top 4 teams in each conference. And I kind of, from watching the conference and all the games, you find the little sleeper teams, and you can come up with some good bets. Last night, if y'all was watching, we had a good one going down today. It's Portland. It's in the West Coast Conference. Let me take a look at it.
Sure. Yeah, like Noli's, not to interrupt you, but I like Noli. He's a total guy. Like he's an under, so like he zeroes in on the unders, which he goes in focus on the unders and he finds value and he plucks them out and makes the play. So when you become real knowledgeable and you like, you focus in on something that's working for you, always stay with it until something else happens. Like you might fall out of favor for a little while, but if you're real comfortable capping, like say totals and unders, unders specifically, so you zero in on those games that you like, and when you find value, you make your plays. This way it kind of limits. You're not looking at overs. You're not looking at you're looking at totals as a whole. But if you specialize in a certain angle, it's profitable. You go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I think in the long term too, you become more knowledgeable and it gets easier as it go on. Like this is my first year. This is my first year with Mountain West in basketball, and I'm
okay.
I'm getting to know the ins and outs and stuff. But then I kind of lay off of the NBA. I don't like NBA till after the All-Star break. It's like some of these games is just going through the motions, and you get a lot of bad beats and stuff. But after that All-Star game is over, you get a real look at what NBA teams want to go, what direction, and all that stuff. And then after the NBA finals and all that stuff, and baseball comes in, I really like baseball because it's an everyday thing, and you can just relax with baseball, man. Baseball is not a tough sport to cap. There's a lot of edges in baseball. There's a lot of trends you could just ride out and stuff. So I like baseball. I'm really, and I only been doing baseball maybe 3 years now, real tough. So I like baseball too, to calm me down, to get ready for the college football all over again.
Yeah, it's cycle gets to start over. Baseball, just like any other thing, it's streaky. Like you want to ride a hot team in baseball, you catch a couple wins on the road, wherever the team's playing, home, road, whatever. But usually baseball equates to like betting in streaks. Now people used to say, well, if you look at a team that gets hot, they're going to be due to lose. Not so much. You just keep riding that team till they lose. Then if they win a game, then you watch it. Win another game, then you jump back on them. Baseball is all equated to the odds too. So, the books have a way of kind of equalizing, a hot team, more so to speak. Your team might start off, let's say, minus 160, and about maybe 4 or 5 games into the win streak, now they bump them up to 180, 190. So you always got to watch. You got to watch the financial aspects of the odds on the baseball side.
That's what's up. Let me get a shout out to our chat, man. We got some of our favorites. We're all low baggers, man. We got Brooke Jordan, Wham's up in here, Ski Profits up in here, Nolly's up in here, Paco's up in here. Who else we got up in here, man? They're having a ball over there too, man. I love that hashtag Noli with the make unders great again. We got JP just came in. Adrian Barato, what up, Adrian? There we go. Brooks back in here. Brooks an awesome capper, man. You guys pay attention to Brooke. Brooks an awesome capper, man.
I watch what's going on with Brooke. Trust me, I see what's going on with Brooke.
Yeah, it's a lot of. While I'm on that on the topic of all our low baggers and our cappers, I'm gonna just let y'all know out here. It's a lot of y'all that we got to get y'all on and spend some time with y'all, man. Because we
bring them on the show.
Yeah, we definitely be watching. I love it. I tried to get Noli, and Noli's gonna pull up. Noli's gonna pull up sooner than you think. That's my guy. He's a local for me. We definitely gonna have Noli. I'm looking to go. I love to sit down with Brooke. I love to sit down with Red Girl and get from the female point perspective. And, My man Paco, he's not far. I'm sure we'll run into Paco. I hung out with Flipper and gas station sushi and stuff. So it's a lot of y'all. Just so y'all know, you could just email me, whatever, holler at me in the chat, man. We hook something up. Even if it doesn't work out or whatever, we'll give it a try, because I think it's real important that all of you cappers that, even if you just putting your plays up on Twitter, man, you working. You putting your rep on the line, you know what I'm saying? So I respect that. And I think it should be uplifted, and it should be, it should be flaunted around, because you some real cappers, man. That's from me to y'all, man. But what else you want to talk about, Big Ragoo? Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, you mentioned something about coaching changes. I mean, I didn't really look at. I've been watching the news a little bit, but I didn't do a lot of homework on who's going to what team. I know that Bruce Arians is going to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. He come out of retirement, and then that's a good look for. That's going to be a good look for Jameis, I think, in Tampa, because he came out of retirement. He thought that he could make. He thought Jameis had all the tools to kind of carry that team, which he does, but sometimes between the years, he doesn't make the right decisions. But as far as physical attributes and talent, I think the boy's got a lot of it, and if he could ever, ever kind of eliminate some of the dumb throws that he makes, he'll be a good long-term. And I know Deshaun Jackson was wanting to hightail it out of Tampa, but I think with Arians coming, he might stick around now. And then Antonio Brown's going to be on the market too, so that'd be interesting to see where he's going to land. AB, he was talking about Frisco possibly, but don't be surprised if you see him land in Tampa.
Now, who do you think coming out of college is going to be the best recruit for the NFL on draft day?
Oh, man.
I think personally, this is probably one of the worst years ever in players. And there was some good competition out there, but standout players like Saquon Barkley was, and how Ezekiel was, and even Jameis Winston when he was in college. It's Watson. It's none of those type players that I can recall. I mean, the quarterback over there at Clemson is nice, but he's so young. My
he's a freshman.
Notre Dame is nice, but he's so young too.
Yeah, I think the quarterback out of Washington, they say, is pretty good. Washington State, he's going to be a top-ranked, top three pick.
He's coming under Mike Leach, so he's going to be pro bound. He's going to be a diamond in the rough right there.
Minshew, I think.
But one thing I did pay attention to with the coaching changes, and I'm horrible with names, so y'all going to have to go research or whatever. But the guy that came over from Tennessee Titans that's going to Green Bay, he coached under Goff at the Rams. The guy he did some work with USC. The guy is he's an offensive-minded coach, and they're bringing him over there to score points with Aaron Rodgers. So next year, definitely expect the Green Bay Packers to go over and go over and go over in your bets. Y'all probably gonna have to remind me, because my life is just so crazy. Y'all probably gonna have to remind me, but as soon as I keyed in the edge right there, I'm definitely gonna ride that trend out for the beginning of next NFL season.
Well,
Green Bay over, write it down.
Yeah, be a good pick up there. The Bears got what's his name, Vic Fangio, the guy that was the defensive coordinator, older guy, right? He went to the Broncos. Now Elway's, he's an impatient type of guy because he's always trying to make moves, and better his squad, being the GM over there. But I think they got a solid pickup. He went with the defensive-minded coach a while ago, but he was really like an old throwback coach, Fox. You remember when Fox was there and he won the Super Bowl? Manning basically won that Super Bowl for him. But this the guy coming over from the Bears, it's going to be a good fit for them because, the Broncos are always more like a defensive-minded team, and he's bringing back Kubiak to run the offense. So I think some good things will happen in Denver next year. And Case Keenum is a pretty solid quarterback. I think they just had some coaching issues to really think, because when they fired Vance Joseph, he just kind of like a deer in the headlights a lot of times. He didn't make the right play calls at the right time. He cost the team 2 or 3 games this year on his own. So they're going to regroup in Denver. I think Denver's going to probably be a turnaround team next year to be on the lookout for them. Yeah, and of course, Andy Reid's always going to have his boys ready to play.
I'm gonna keep my eye on Trubisky next year too. And I don't know what you think is gonna happen with between Wentz and Foles. You think they both gonna stay there? Somebody got to go. What you think gonna happen over there?
Yeah, well, I mean, Wentz is probably going to be the starter. Foles, they're going to get a pretty penny for him. So his value, no matter what comes out of the playoffs, he's already shown his value. You know, so and it's funny because what happened when they went to Chicago, you know, everybody was thinking, well, you know, Foles, you know, he's gonna try to get it done, but there's no way that, you know, he's gonna go in there and do what he did last year. And sure enough, what happens? He goes and beats Chicago. Now he's marching into New Orleans to take on the Saints. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that game. It came down to my theory right there of players that already got those NFL bonuses. You know, I kind of considered the Eagles as a flop compared to how they was last year around this time, and only because they know about them bonuses, they was like, "Oh, we got to get this win in and get to the next bonus." So it's going to be exciting to cap that game just shortly, man. I asked the chat to give us some questions, so I'm gonna keep my eye on the chat.
Well, but let me reiterate on your bonus thing, okay? So here comes Sean Payton with the Super Bowl trophy from when he won a few years back with about $200 and something thousand stacked on top of it, right? Mm-hmm. So did you hear about that story? Oh, you didn't hear about that? I figured you'd be all over that talking about bonuses and money. So anyway, Sean Payton, at right around playoff time, you know, right between, you know, the wild card round and this week, he comes in the locker room with the Super Bowl trophy and $200,000 cash sitting on top of it. And he was telling them, this is what the playoffs is all about. And when them players seen that money, boy, their eyes lit up. And they couldn't forget about the paychecks they're getting. They see real hard, you know, you see cold hard cash sitting there, and all the players were doing was reveling and talking about how they want to get their hands on that money. So that was a big motivating factor for the Saints. And they talked about that. They were referencing back to the bounty thing, you know, when Greg Williams was the coach. You know, they were talking about, you know, how they were offering the players money, but that's not offering the players money in regards to doing something bad. It's motivation for them to go out and play and win games. And it's exactly what you were talking about, you know, the bonus time. You know, a lot of players, these guys are young. They haven't seen that. Breeze has, but a lot of the players on that team haven't. So it's like their first look at an opportunity to go out there and make some bonus money.
Yeah, you know, even from horse racing, the bonus money and the purse and all that stuff is always something you want to consider. Let's go into the games, man. The chat is ready for the games. They talking the coach stuff. First game out, we got the Colts at Kansas City. I heard the weather's bad. Kansas City's -4.5. The over-under sitting at 54.5 right now. Let's break into that game, Ragoo.
What's the total?
The total is 54.5. Where do we start with this game?
Dropping. Well, that's a good point. That's a good place to start. I know some of our cappers in the chat we're involved with, you know, a lot of them were liking the over. You know, I know Dave was big on the over in that game. He still is. So that's probably good for him if he didn't put it in already. But when we talking about it, was 57. So that's a big drop, 2.5 points. Now, I know they had the field tarped. I know the field is heated. So I don't know how much of the actual snow is going to stick to the field. But it's definitely going to be slick. So, and I look for a run-heavy option coming out of the Colts. What kind of like what they did when they went down to Houston, they kind of took them out with the run game. They're going to be a run-heavy package, and I even heard the coach Frank Reich talk about that too earlier in the day. He said he's going in there with the intent to run, but he wants to kind of keep them off balance and mix in some passes. But they've had 3 back-to-back 200-yard rushing games, and I look for more of the same from the Colts today. And the Chiefs are next to last on stopping the run. So it's not going to be a big surprise to see the Colts kind of control the line of scrimmage and keep Mahomes off the field with the run game.
Now, an angle that I've been looking at lately that's been working for me is kind of as far as totals, looking at the teams that can compete like touchdown for touchdowns, because, you know, it's just how, like, you know, it's set up for a good under game, right? The weather, the teams like to run or whatever. But you have to think about the mentality of the team on when they're going to pass. So some teams, I would say like Dallas and like the Seahawks, like if the other team scores, they really want to score. They want to go knock for knock, what I call it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you get your over.
Yeah.
You get one team to come out and score quick, and the other team feel like, oh, we got to score too. Bam, you got 14 points in the first quarter, you know. And I like the over in this game, but I don't see two teams that really want to go knock for knock. Kansas City by far don't want to go knock for knock with the Colts. But then again, Kansas City, they had a lot of high-scoring games and have went knock to knock. Now that I think about it, they did it with the Rams. You know, they can score. And this Colts team, you know, they're on a mission right here, but they've had some low-scoring games that they've won.
Exactly.
So, but with a quarterback like Luck back there in the playoffs, I mean, that's what you pay the man for. You pay him to come do what he do, and that's throw the ball around, even though it's cold, whatever, you know. Indianapolis is a cold place too. I don't think the weather factor may drive the line down, but the over still might be the play on this one. And my man, Dave LA, man, he's a fucking awesome. He's an awesome capper, man. I really respect that guy. Can't wait till baseball come to roll with Dave. This guy, man, he's real serious and intense about baseball.
He's a real deal.
Yeah, he's really good. And hearing that he took the over, even though it sounds a little under, I'm following the over on that one, man. I'm gonna go over in this game. Kansas City and the Colts over 54.5. How about
I see a lot of big plays happening. I see a lot of big plays. Like I say, Colts gonna want to run the ball, right? And Andrew Luck, you know, Andrew Luck is not going to just sit there in the game and just kind of hand the ball off over and over again. So they'll mix it up. They'll probably take some big shots on first down once they start running the ball. And then Kansas City is definitely, you know, they're all about the big play, you know, down the field too. So an over is probably a nice look. A prop I like was, and I can't get it no more because they bumped it up a little bit, but it was like 10 points in the first quarter. I put that on the low bag show yesterday. I told them I liked the 10 points to be scored in the first quarter. So
you leaning over 2 in that one?
I still might do it. I mean, it's 10.5 now, but now you need 3 scores. I think, like I say, in the beginning of the game, you're going to see a lot of run-heavy plays come from the Colts. But I expect. I mean, it's you need 2 touchdowns basically to get that done. You know, a touchdown and field goal ain't going to work for you. So, and I see some 6-minute drives coming out of the Colts early in the game. So Kansas City's going to have to score, and the Colts going to have to score a touchdown apiece. So I liked it. Worst case scenario, I thought it was a field goal and a touchdown, but now I need 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to go back and revisit that one.
Well, I'm gonna make it official that I'm taking the over in this game, man. Let's go over to the side in this game. I heard you on the low bag. You know, many of us heard you on the low bag, but we're doing it all over again. So I'm gonna act like
that's all right. Good. It's good.
But
it's good.
How do you feel about the side, and why you take the team you're taking the side in this
one? I'm on the Colts for sure with the points. I'm probably going to sprinkle some on the money line also. I just think the Colts are, with the way they're rolling right now in the red zone. You know, they had the number 3 red zone offense. Now they kind of, over the last 3 weeks, they bumped it up to number 1. Kansas City's number 2 in the red zone. So here we go. You got the number 1 team in the red zone, the number 2 team in the red zone. So that equates to points, right? I mean, you don't get in the red zone and not score and not put points on the board. If they were like number 31 and 30, I would say definitely the under. But I kind of like, you know, I got to agree with Dave on the total, you know. But as far as the side concerned, I think Dave is also running with the Colts. So that kind of reiterates what I'm talking about too. So Colts and over.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, well, I'm going to keep it a secret. But, yes, I'm going to take the Colts and the points in this one. Colts, it's either – so right now, if you want to talk about sleeper teams, it's either the Chargers or the Colts. The Colts has really been on the mission. They got those players fired up. They lost 5, and what they won, like 11 in a row now or something like that?
Yeah, they won like 9 out of the last 10, or I'm sorry, Dallas. I'm thinking Dallas has won 9 out of the last 10 with their only loss to the Colts. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, but the coach been on a nice tear too,
Oh yeah.
man. And there's definitely a team to watch. The money factor in this game, I guess you can't really look at the bonus factor in this game because KC never gets too far in the playoffs, and the coach been ducking and dodging the playoffs, so they don't know about this extra. I think this game is. I looked it up. It was a little bit lower than it was last year. I wonder how they determine how much they gonna give them because I think the first game was 27,000 bonus, and this game is a 29,000 bonus for this one. So I don't think the bonus is going to have anything to do with this game. This game is going to be played with the X's and O's on the field. I don't think the elements can stop it. I think it's coach versus the coaches versus the coaches, the players versus the players. It's going to be a real interesting game to watch. Being the trend of things that happened this season in the NFL, give me the points, man. I feel safe with the points.
I'll tell you the points have been solid. I think Kobe put a little stat out, which it was kind of hard to believe, but I believe it. It was like the last 15 games, the Underdogs like 14-1 with the spread.
Yeah, that's what's up. So you heard it right here. We back in the Colts. We liking the over. I'm taking the over officially. My man Big Ragoo got a prop in there for the first quarter or first half.
Yeah, no, first quarter 10 points. If you can get 10 points, take it. Over 10 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, and the chat's going wild, man. My man JP pulled up, Smooth Goodwin pulled up, Nasty Nate pulled up, Paco Healy's in here, Brian Lee. Brian Lee, when Jimmy comes here in February, you're absolutely invited to whatever I put together. We're hanging out, we having a good time, man. And once again, shout out to all of y'all in the chat. Let's move over to the next game, though. This one, I could have been doing overtime at work today for this one, but I decided my overtime is my capping, man. They can't give me 6 days a week, bro. But yeah, it's right up the street from us. If y'all want to know the weather right here, it rained cats and dogs last night. It's rained a little bit over into the morning, sprinkling a little bit. It's projected by game time that the rain goes away because the rain's going to pick back up later on tonight and carry us over into the next day. So I don't think the weather element will really be a big factor in this one. What you feeling about this one? The Dallas? How do you think Dallas does on grass? How do you think the Rams gonna do at home? How you feeling about this one, Big Ragoo?
You're going to see a lot more of the same what we've seen on the Colts game. You're going to see a run-heavy game coming out of Dallas. Now, when Zeke runs for 100 yards, they're 6-0. So, and then the Rams are even worse than the Chiefs protecting the run. They're like dead last in the league. So you're going to see a lot of Zeke Elliott in this game. And if you see Zeke, you know what that means, right? You're going to be seeing a lot of this on the sidelines, a lot of feed me the ball. So, and they're going to get back Beasley today. It'll probably help them with some slot and, slants and stuff like that. Plays. And this is going to be all dependent upon Dallas. We know Gurley's banged up on the run side for the Rams. So, and Anderson, they got kind of filling in for him. And I mean, really, they're backing down on the run. So I expect more of the same. I see a lot of Zeke, and I like the points in this game also. Another underdog role. Now, the field conditions are supposed to be muddy. The rain might not be in play, but the field's definitely going to be muddy from what I understand. So, I think that kind of helps the offenses out.
I say the field probably be fast today.
Okay.
The over is in play with this game. Of course, it's kind of low because of Dallas defense. But when I come to think about the total right here, I'm thinking I'm kind of tossed right here because Dallas, they can't really expect to go knock for knock with the Rams for sure. They don't even want to entertain that type of theory or anything. Like they're coming in the ball coming in the game like you said to run the ball. Absolutely, the first half. Maybe the best play on the total would be under in the first half because if it opens up now, Dallas has been pushed in situations, and that's where Cooper comes in, and Beasley and all that kind of stuff. They've been pushed to situations where they got to go knock for knock and put up 21, 24 points or something like that. But if they can have a day way, they're gonna take their time, slow the Rams down some, and play it slow. So I kind of lean the under in the first half on the total side of this game.
Yeah, I like that. That's probably a solid play right there, under in the first half. I mean, the tempo of the game, I think, is going to be geared that way. I mean, who knows? Like now, if the Rams, let's say by chance the Rams have catch a few breaks and they go up by a couple scores, then you'll probably see them trying to pick up the pace, and that probably not going to bode well for Dallas if the Rams get out to a fast start. So, but if Dallas can control the line of scrimmage with Zeke, then obviously it's going to be in Dallas's favor to kind of keep that same tempo and maybe give a few looks with Cooper and, like you say, Beasley in the second half, to try to catch him sleeping, behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, if the Rams can fire off early, they may be able to blow past this Cowboy team because the Cowboys, they've been getting by with the Rams. They've been getting by the skin on their back, but they are actually what up, Wham? They're actually a pretty good team. So I don't know. The Rams could, if the Rams win, it's going to be a complete blowout. But if any type of coaching, with Jerry Jones cracking the whip, I'm pretty sure he got to go in there and do his best on performing. As far as coaching and managing in this game. So yeah, like I said, under first half sounds good. Over for the game might be a good play, but I think I'm gonna stay off the total in this one. Let's talk about the side. Where you at with the side with this one?
Oh, definitely on the Cowboys with the points, +7. I'm taking the 7.
Yeah, that's a lot of points they're giving up right there to two teams competing in the playoffs. Rams has showed they can be beat in several spots this year. They done ran past a lot of teams, but they have showed that they can be beat. And I'm with you on that one. I'm definitely taking the Cowboys and the points on this one. That's might be a good bet for the first half and the full game. What you think about that?
I think with Goff, if you can bring the pressure to him, I don't think he's a real good quarterback under pressure. If they can come up with some schemes to kind of bring some pressure to Goff, then they might have a few issues trying to make plays. But if they can, I don't know what they're going to do for a run game too. With Gurley being, we'll see how Gurley comes out. I mean, he's had 2 weeks to kind of heal up a little bit, so we'll see how effective Gurley is, and that's going to probably be a big issue for Goff to set the pass up. If they don't get Gurley involved early, then it might not be a good look for the Rams.
But as saying that, Goff staying in the pocket, he really doesn't. He's not a pocket staying quarterback. The way the offense is designed to 1, 2, 3 and go. Maybe 5-step drop at the most, but you never see him back there for 7 steps. So I don't, he doesn't run out on the pocket a lot or nothing like that unless he has to. So I don't know about Dallas getting to Goff, but I don't think that the Rams offense can really go up against this Cowboys defense. They got like that Steelers bend don't break defense. So it's gonna be interesting, man.
But definitely you see a lot of schemes, a lot of different looks, I think, from both sides, especially trying to. I mean, they're probably going to try a lot of stunts, I think, the Rams, because we know that they can't stop the run. So they're going to try to confuse Dallas with some different looks to try to shake things up. So you might see Dallas maybe they're going to get away from the run, but if they give them some different looks, you might see Zeke even catching the ball out of the backfield and some flats and then some bubble screens and stuff. So we'll see.
Do you think it might be some value in the Cowboys on the money line? You think that's a sprinkle spot?
Yeah, absolutely. All my games today are going to be sprinkle spots. Trust me. I'm going to be, even though I didn't say it on low bag, even if I get down to the later game, there might be some sprinkle spots on tomorrow's plays too. So every dog is live in the NFL this weekend. Every dog is a live play.
Yeah, and that's what I was waiting to get to. I was trying to hide the fact, but I'm gonna go ahead and get to it, especially after hanging out with my man Sonny. Learned a lot from Sonny, man. Just like I learned a lot from you, Big Ragoo. You might not see me writing it down or nothing like that, but I'm definitely paying attention. And this might be a good spot for betting this weekend. It's going to be a rainy dog weekend. So take the dog in both games, take them points, take them dogs. Out of the 2 dogs that's playing today, I'm pretty sure one to cover and probably one to win. We definitely going 1-on-1 at least taking dogs. 2 of the favorites are not going to cover these spreads for these 2 games I lined up. I'm gonna give
Agree
a
with you
shout
that
out
one.
to the chat real quick, man. We got Smooth Goodwin in here. Paco still in the building. We got my bro Johnny Trotter in the building. We got Nolly, Nolly's up in here. He's been in here for us for a while. We got JP, a lot of good low baggers, a lot of good folks in there, man. We having a good time.
Yeah, Brian Lee's in there.
Yeah, I was so drunk last night. I didn't even need coffee this morning, so I'm off water right now. So carrying it over to the next day. But I'm living my life. I'm having a good time, man. I'm have to find me some fiddles to watch this game coming on in a little while, man. What you gonna be? What the scene gonna be like over there for you, Big Ragoo, watching this game this evening?
It's gonna be quiet for me. I'm gonna have a cocktail and maybe get a little bit of I got a little bit of pasta I'm gonna eat a little later on, and got some chicken Alfredo I'm gonna do up, and before that though I'm gonna get some snacks and dips and chips and a couple cocktails, and then later this evening I'll already got the pasta.
You throwing everybody out the house, or are you gonna let them hang out with you?
No, everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome here, but it's tomorrow. I'm gonna have more of a crowd tomorrow. Today's gonna be kind of like me chilling and just kind of getting my game on for myself. And tomorrow I have some people coming by.
That's what's up, man. And I got a couple of basketball plays too. Nolly just hit us in the chat. We had talked about it last night. The under in the Duke Florida State game. I just put that in for the day. I hope that give me some extra cash to start betting my day out right here. And also the other pick that I had was Pacific. Pacific plays Portland State, Portland's just a really bad team, man. They bottom of the list on the West Coast Conference. This Pacific team, they can fight a little bit. They like to fight a little bit. They give people problems here and there. They're on the road and they only got to cover 4. I'm going with Pacific on this one. I got hit last night. I had a nice parlay working all the way over to Wisconsin, and Wisconsin knocked me off. But
Wisconsin knocked you off, huh?
Yeah, Wisconsin knocked me off. A nice plus.
Were they a favorite, dog?
They was a favorite by like 2.5 or something. I had them on the money line. Number. I had them on the money line. It was just a bad beat, man. The parlay was plus 313, nice and easy. I had the Penguins in the game, and I had what was that? Northern Kentucky. Somebody put out yesterday. Like I told you, because of work this week, my schedule this week at work, I'm not allowed to cap a lot of games. So I kind of followed some of my good cappers in there. I got 2 out of 3, man. I should have bet them all straight up, but I put them in a little small parlay, tried to make a couple dollars. But we're going to bounce back right now with this under in this Duke game that I'm liking. And we're going to move over into Sunday, man. So Sunday's going to be the big day over there. You entertaining for the Sunday games, right? What are you? Are you a Eagles fan or something?
Yeah, I'll probably be an Eagles fan Sunday. But before I become an Eagles fan, I'm gonna be a Chargers fan, right? We all Chargers fans, it seems like, around here these days. Everybody's kind of trying to roll with the Chargers pretty hard. They're gonna march into Foxborough, and then of course, Belichick's gonna try to come up something to slow Rivers down as he's done years gone by. But I think there's a different look on the Chargers team this year. I know Brady's gonna, Belichick and Brady are gonna try to, slow the Chargers down. I think it's gonna be a grinded out game for the Chargers, also kind of like what they did. I mean, even though last week the score showed a closer game than it was in Baltimore, I mean the Chargers, they dominated that game for 56 minutes. I mean, with that 7 DB look, I mean they had Jackson. He didn't know what to do with them. So, I mean, Brady's going to be a different story. Brady's not going to fall for some of the stuff that they're probably going to do. But at the same time, they're going to have to play an honest game to beat Brady. And I think they got the weapons to do it on both sides. And I look for the Chargers to kind of maybe not control the tempo of the game, but, just to kind of play mistake-free football. And if they keep things in front of them and Rivers, doesn't turn the ball over, they got enough weapons to kind of handle business in Foxborough. Now, there were some concerns about the travel, coming back, East Coast going back and then coming back again. A few years back, Seattle did it. They played Washington, and they had to go all the way to Atlanta and play, but they didn't get to the big game. They lost before. I think the following year they went to the Super Bowl. But I see the Chargers, kind of creating like a little mini dynasty. Don't have a lot of time. But if they don't get it done this year, it's not going to it probably won't happen for Rivers for another couple. I mean, he's only probably got a couple, 2 or 3 years left, I would say, playing. So this is the time for the Chargers. So I'm rocking with the Chargers. I'm going to sprinkle some money line and take the 4 points also.
I've been right there with y'all on the Chargers. I've been loving riding the Chargers out, but I don't know. This week it gets kind of shaky for me. I like Chargers as a sleeper. I like Chargers to go far. We already had talked about it. My boy Rivers does good in cold weather. It's definitely another cold weather game. He's going to be able to throw the ball a little effectively. But I'm in one of those situations, and same thing I did in the second half of the Bama game too. Like, you know, I wanted Clemson to win, but I just couldn't trust Bama. I want Chargers to win, but I really don't trust the Patriots. The Patriots, Belichick could, deflate, inflate. You don't know what trick is up his sleeve right here. This could be a spooky game. A lot of money's going to come in on the Chargers right here because the Chargers got that momentum, just like a lot of money's going to come in on the Colts. But I'm gonna do the reverse thing, man. I'm gonna put my money, especially if I win some money. If I'm playing with the books money tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and put the money on the Patriots, and I'm gonna root Chargers, man. And if I lost so many bets before, it feels so good to America if the Patriots lose, because people either love or hate the Patriots. So if they lose, great, and I don't win no money. But if they win, I got to deal with them with a little more cash in my pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Patriots, but I ain't going to tell nobody.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I won't tell nobody either. How's that? I got mixed emotions when it comes to the Pats because they cost me a shit ass load of money over the years, especially last year in that Super Bowl with the fucking Falcons. But that was a destruction. They blew that game. I had like 5 bets I lost on that game, and all of them went burning after halfway through the third quarter. I had a minus. I paid some alternative lines on the Falcons. I had a money line. I had a -3.5. I had a -7.5. I had a -10.5, and then I had them plus the points, and they all went down like a pack of flames. Like you said, our boy Belichick got a way to make stuff happen. So it's always they always provide the element of surprise. The Pats do, I mean, I'd say last year. I'm sorry, the year before. We know what happened last year. Philadelphia won, and last year I backed them, and I lost with the Pats. So go figure. That's a jinx team for me. So I'm going to tread lightly when it comes to them.
This one definitely falls in the category of the bonus too, because you know how many bonuses the Patriots had to this point. They know all about it. They want it all. They might blow it all the next day. So got to be careful of them Patriots. But I would love to see them out of there. They would the playoff picture would look much better with them out of there. It would be more entertaining. The longer they stay in there, the darker the gray cloud is over the NFL, because nobody wants to see the Patriots in the championship again. I mean, that's just honest, real talk.
Yeah, it is. It is real talk. We need some new blood in there. Even if say Philadelphia by chance they got in there with because that would be interesting because they're getting in there on a way that nobody thought they would get in there again. So I mean, let's get some new blood in there. Let's keep these games. Let's keep a fresh edge to it, and let's get rid of the old school stuff. Let's have some good. We want competitive football, but we need some new blood in there for sure, no doubt.
Yeah, well, you know how it is being an old schooler like yourself. The new stuff coming, and it's still based off the old school. So the old school always there to stay, man. So I don't know about that. What do you think about the total in this one? 47.5.
Yeah, Jimmy asked me that yesterday too. I told him I was so focused on the sides, with the teams involved. I didn't really get involved with the total a whole lot, so I don't really have an opinion, to be honest with you, on the total. So I wouldn't know which way to go. I mean, I think I would lean towards, if anything, if you like the Chargers, you got to like the under. If you like the over, you got to lean the Pats. So I would. It just depends on which way you lean with the team. So me personally, I would probably say under. I think the Chargers probably win. They'll squeak it out. If the Pats win, it's going to be some kind of, let's say that they're up by, or Chargers up by a couple of scores, and the Pats will probably push the game over somehow to win it.
Well, I'm gonna go in and try to break this total down right here because I'm kind of leaning the over. These are two teams that could go nuck for nuck. Like I say, when they can go nuck for nuck, all it takes is a touchdown on the first drive, and somebody to follow that touchdown, and you 14 points in, and you only got to climb over 47.5. Might be a good look for the over right here. Chargers can score. Patriots defense is weak, man. Patriots defense give up points, period. So I could look at if I go through the totals, I see 3 touchdowns coming out of the Chargers for sure. And I'm pretty sure Belichick can run a 3-touchdown game. That'll put you at 42. All you need is one more to go over that total. So I like the over.
Yeah, if you go to overtime, you're going to have it.
Yeah, you'll have it. Anywhere it go. I mean, if you get those 3 and a lucky pick 6 or something like that, that's what's going to take you over, It's going to be a tough spot. They're probably pretty close on the total right there. It probably should be at like 46, 45. But they're right in there. It's going to be close. But when it's close, I'd rather lean on the over, hoping for overtime or something like that. So I'm going to take the over. And then the 47, that's kind of low. Let me see on SBR. Let me see how has it been moving, though. Came out at 47. I see some 48s. I see 47.5. So the money's coming in a little bit on the over.
It's trending up. Yeah, it's trending up.
They feel me on the over right there.
And generally the public, people, they bet more overs than unders. So, and that's going to be a game. Trust me, that's going to be a game that that's the early game tomorrow, correct? So that's the 1 o'clock game. So
my man Walker Crowder says it's going to be the coldest game of the weekend right there. I haven't done a weather report on that. Was that Patriots play inside though, right?
No, that's an outdoor game.
That's an outdoor game. Oh, because it could be a low scoring. It could be a low scoring game though.
Yeah, I don't think it's grinding game.
Better in the cold, so he definitely got those 3, maybe 4 touchdowns. I might be looking at 4 touchdowns out the Chargers.
Yeah, I hope you're right. Because if the Chargers score 4 touchdowns, I think that's enough for them to get the job done. Especially with the points, that they'll need it. Then it becomes a touchdown game for the Pats to beat them. It's not going to be a field goal game, be a touchdown game to get as far as the spread goes. Then you should be good. If Rivers gets 4 touchdowns, and he'd be good as goal with the number.
Yeah. I think Rivers could get 4 touchdowns. 2 probably going to come on the run, and he'll catch 2 in the air. He's pretty good in the red zone. And the Patriots defense, they got spots in there. They be exposed all the time. Look at the teams that beat them this year. Go look at some of that tape. What was it like? The Dolphins beat them early in the season. Go look at the tape. You'll find the holes in the defense.
Yeah,
I think Chargers can put up 4 touchdowns, which also leads me towards the Chargers winning the game as well too. Because if they can put up 4, I think they can hold. They can hold the Patriots to 3. But you got to get the Brady. You got to shake Brady up. Big Bosa out there and all that. They may be able to shake him up.
That was one of the scenarios they were talking about there, because they were saying that Brady's not going to have the time to take the bigger drops. They were talking like 2.5 step type drops. Like he always does. Just dink and doink all over the place, and they're going to need that with Ingram and Bosa. And trust me, they're going to come up. I think that Lynch is going to come up with some type of scenario, kind of like what he did to eliminate the run for Jackson. They're going to have to do the same thing, but just kind of shorten the pass. Try to tighten them zones up so they don't get those quick looks. And then you're going to be looking at Edelman, and you're probably looking at Burkhead coming out of the backfield on some screens. So they're going to have to give some looks underneath to kind of contain it. I don't see the big plays going downfield for Brady because they don't have that capability to stretch the field. So it's going to have to be a containment type scenario for LA to kind of keep stuff in front of them within 5, 7, 8 yard type plays, which that's what New England's good at doing anyways, but it's going to even have to come at a quicker pace for them to make something positive for New England. So, because that San Diego, or I keep saying San Diego, man. San Diego's burning my brain, man. The Chargers, the Chargers D ain't no joke. You know what I mean? They can make plays. They can make they can make stuff happen. So
yeah, I'm sure Belichick got a plan though to put up at least 3 touchdowns though.
Yeah.
That's
New England's going to get their points. They don't trust me. The Chargers not going to go in there and blow nobody out as far as that's concerned. You know, they might get a break on a turnover here or there, but it's going to be a close game. It's not going to be an easy game for them to go in there and just walk out with a W. And they're going to have to earn every yard that they get, every play that they make. They're going to have to earn it. And Rivers is going to have to play a mistake-free game. You know, that's always been the thing with the Chargers. Every year they find a way to lose the big game. You know. But I think this year's it's a different outlook altogether for the Chargers. So I'm just mad that we had to go into Foxborough. I wish they would have had to come out to LA, you know, and play them out there. They were one game away from getting the home field. But hey, you know, they're a road tested team, they're a battle tested team, and I look for them to do well tomorrow.
Yeah, they do better on the road anyway, so that's not even a big deal right there. But I'm going to say it right here first. I just said a lot of crazy stuff today. I did say that I'm taking the Patriots, but I don't want nobody to know. But at the same time, I'm going to predict right now that this game comes down to a field goal. Haven't had too many games come down to a field goal this year. Yeah. This is definitely going to be the one that comes down to the field goal.
Yeah. Well, you know, and that's an area where the kind of Chargers have been a little bit lacking in the field goal department. But the kid, he showed up last week because he had like 3 field goals, and it was Tony Romo that even said it too. Because when they went up 6-0, and I was kind of cursing at the TV a little bit because I said you can't win football games kicking field goals on the road, but somehow or another they got it done. You know, their defense held up, and it wound up coming down. I mean, it was a BS gimme score towards the end, and they almost had to, you know, sweat that one out late, which they shouldn't have because, like I say, they dominated that game for the whole game for like 56 minutes. But I mean, that's why football is a brutal sport to bet. If you get a lot of backdoor scenarios that come in, you know, into play, like especially if you're betting favorites this time of the year. That's why the Dogs have been like 14-1 against the spread, you know, and or a lot of outright W's too. So
yeah.
You know, I'm always a big advocate of taking underdogs in the playoffs just for that reason, you know, because they're usually tighter games. You don't see these games where you have a lot of high scoring affairs. I mean, you will get some totals that will go over without a doubt, but you know the games are more closely contested in the playoffs, and that's, you know, it's playoff football. It's just the way it's designed to be.
Yeah, this one comes down to a field goal. Let's go into the big game, man. The defending champs versus this put together Saints team out there in New Orleans, man. You know, I got a lot of family from New Orleans, and they all diehard Saints fan. Win, lose, or draw, they're gonna drink, eat, and say "Go Saints" the whole time, even if they down 20.
You know, they call going to a football game in New Orleans going to church, right? You know, that being I got family there, right? They call it going to church. So I was in New Orleans one. I didn't get to go to a game, but I was at Jazz Fest one year. I went. It was the first year, and I love the city of New Orleans. That's like my second favorite place to go, believe it or not. Vegas is number 1, and New Orleans is number 2 as far as having a good time. But the food down there is phenomenal, man. It's like second to none. It's a great place. You know, I love New Orleans. But I'm not going to love New Orleans this weekend. I'm going to be taking old Saint Nick, Big Dick Nick, like Jimmy called him. I think we're going to roll hard with the Eagles. Now this game is going to go one of two ways. I don't think the spread's going to matter in this particular game. So either like Philadelphia to win the game, or you like New Orleans to blow them out. So either way, I don't think the 8 points is going to matter as far as taking the dog. So if you take the dog, you better be liking Philly to win the game, because if not, New Orleans is going to win by 2 scores, I think. So
that's quite a big sprinkle on the money line, Big Ragoo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You get rewarded. I mean, if you want to get real ballsy and do a round robin 4 dogs, all you need is catch 2 of them, and you're guaranteed to make money, especially with 8 points and 7. If Dallas comes in with Philadelphia and a parlay, that's a hell of a hit right there. You know, that'd probably pay like big numbers, you know, telephone numbers. You know, if you hit all 4 teams on a dog parlay, they can't, you know, they won't be able to pay you. It'd be a monster. It'd be a monster. So, but I'm gonna check the odds on that. I don't even know what it pays. I'll probably do it after we get off. I'll probably put something on Twitter with possible payouts with the odds. With the 4-team underdog parlay.
That's right. If y'all haven't yet, make sure you go follow Big Ragoo 62 on Twitter, man. Out there dropping bombs on y'all. He does his Twitter videos live and direct, man. He shows a lot of love for all the cappers and our families and everything, man. This Big Ragoo's a real stand-up guy, man. Like you my idol, Big Ragoo. When I get big, I want to be like you, man. Just a stand-up guy, not a lot of knowledge. Real ballsy guy, does what he wants. He's a boss. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming out. And
I appreciate them kind of words. I really do.
We having fun though. That's just
we run with a lot of good cappers. We got guys that we run with. Another guy that's keep an eye on is Captain Sosana, man. You want to talk about some hockey plays and Mr. Puckline? We got some guys in our chat that we roll with. There's some. We got a really good group of solid cappers, and it's going to benefit everybody to kind of pay attention to what's going on, and it's going to put money in your pocket.
Oh yeah, it's only going to get better as it go. You know what I'm saying? We aging like wine over here. We getting better as it go. So we got my man Capper 24/7 in the house. My man Vegas Gun in here. My man Walter still in here, man. So we as far as on that last game, I like Philly too in this one. I would say that New Orleans is most invested in this game, though. That's another one of my. I got the bonuses, and then I got who's most invested. Philly's already invested and cashed out, so they thinking about the bonus. But New Orleans been putting the pieces together. The owners, everybody's putting the money behind them, getting them the pieces that they need. My boy Breeze, he due for another one, and that's something to reckon with the Saints. I'm not feeling what you said about the Saints blowing them out though. I like Philly to cover the points. Even if the Saints win, I definitely think they can't get them by 9.5 because Philadelphia, they're a smart team. They're gonna try to control the ball and stuff to the best of their ability. They're going to take their best foot forward to make sure the game doesn't go out of control. And they've lost some games like that this year, just making sure it doesn't go out of control and just losing respectfully. This might be their spot where they're ready to go lay it down. I don't see them as a back-to-back team at all. I mean, how do you go back-to-back with the quarterback controversy they had, with the slow start they had this year? Most teams that win the Super Bowl don't do nothing the next year. So I'm not a real advocate of the Eagles going back-to-back, but they definitely can. According to my bonus theory, all they got to do is have a little hunger to try to get over to the next hump. After this, divisional game and the Super Bowl, those are big payoffs right there. So they may have their eyes on the prize over there in Philly. Sprinkling on the money line is a good one. And I think New Orleans, they just want to get the win and keep going. They want to protect their investment. So I don't think they really tuned up to blow them out like they was blowing teams out earlier in the season. So I do like Philly plus the points right here. If the Saints win, I'm happy for the Saints. The Saints go marching all the way to the divisional playoffs and lose.
Yeah, I mean the last 3 games with the Saints, they have been struggling on the offensive side. But you really can't count that last game because they kind of already knew going in that they were going to have the home field advantage. So they might have did some things to protect, some of the key players in the game, which I kind of expected that anyways. But even prior, they had to play like Carolina 2 out of the last 3. And Carolina had a lot to play for, but when they kind of lost that last game before that, they were kind of eliminated anyway. So they were just kind of playing the scrub. I would call them scrubs, but like second stringers. So yeah, I mean the Saints are probably the odds-on favorite to go all the way. They've been for a while. I mean they're kind of like that's a big home field advantage for them. We know that, and we know it's a tough place to go in and win games at, but it's not impossible because Philadelphia, they can ball with them. They went in. I think the toughest defense they were going to see was last week in Chicago. So they went in and handled business at the Bears. They had a little help from the football gods with with the missed field goal and icing the kid and missing the field goal. But and sometimes, you know, they could be a team of destiny. You know, they could maybe not to win the whole thing, but maybe just to kind of repeat business and get back to where they got, you know, last year. So maybe get to the NFC Championship games, because they've been involved in a few of those. Philadelphia has, under different coaches and stuff, but their history tells them that, you know, they're a solid. They know how to win. They're a tough, gritty team. So you could be right about that, you know. But I just think personally, if they get there, they're going to have a lot of things go their way.
They're talking about the total over here in the chat. My man,
Paco, yeah. I almost forgot, man. I got involved talking about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, Paco,
what I like.
Live during the game with the in-game chat. That would be probably fun, Paco. We have to see about putting that together, going live with the in-game chat. I wouldn't be too attentive to keeping everybody entertained, because I'm gonna be watching the game, but I definitely love
a lot of cussing going on.
Yeah, I definitely love to hop in the chat, man. My man JC Alvarez, he's on the over in that game too.
Right.
What do you feel about the total right here? Let's discuss the total on here.
I love the under in this game. I love it. I think both teams are gonna come out and try to bang each other hard as far as you know, running the ball. Now Breeze, Peyton's been trying to save his arm, so to speak. So New Orleans on the offensive side, they're a run-heavy offense. It kind of remind me of the Colts in a lot of ways, you know, how they handle their business. But, I mean, that Thomas is a nice receiver, you know, and Breeze can still throw the ball down the field. He just doesn't do it as much. So I think that's all by design. So and then you might see a little different look this time go around because of the fact that, you know, how banged up we are on the secondary with Philadelphia. So we'll see how it goes. If they're able to run the ball first, which and Philadelphia is built to stop the run, you know, the way that's what they did with Chicago. They kind of gave a lot of schemes and looks to kind of fool the Bears on what they were doing, and it kind of worked for them. So I think Peyton's a little more experienced than Nagy had in the playoffs, obviously. So I look for the under in this game. I think a lot of stuff is going to happen early in the game, as far as, you know, like it's going to be more of a feeling out. If anything happens, I would go like a first half under and maybe a second half over, you know. But I like the full game under 51.5.
Hey, that's crazy. Great minds think alike. You already know from my theory that this game falls under for me. You know, you got two teams that could be high-scoring teams that meet each other. If you really break these two teams down, they kind of mirror each other. They kind of have the same structure and game plan. You know, they try to get the run popping to open the pass. They got like rowdy D's that hold them in the game. They have a lot of similarities. And when you meet two teams with a lot of similarities, it's automatically going to go the opposite of what you think, because practice-wise, these guys are good. You know, they practice against these fast guys. They practice against people that do the same thing they do. So it's going to be meeting of the two minds right here. And both teams can't afford to just go out there and throw the game up in the air and go. They got to strategize and manage this one. So, yeah, I like the under on that one too, man, all the way. So we definitely concur on that one, man, under in this game.
Yeah, there's a play I like. I like on a teaser play. I would love to tease, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to tease the under with the Colts on the side in this game, with two-teamer. So tease the Colts plus the points, and tease the total up and take it under for a two-team. Nice little two-team tease.
That's right. So overall, for me, I got Colts in the first game. I'm really liking the first half under in the Dallas and Rams game. I'm also liking Dallas in that one. I ain't going to say what I'm doing in this Charger game. I'm going to go after the total in this one. I like the over 47 in the Chargers game. And I like the under here in the Philly game. And I also like Philly plus the points in this one. That's me right here live. Who-Bangin Sports Talk. We did it right here live with my man, Big Ragoo. Big Ragoo, run it back for them. Let them know where you at with the games this weekend.
Okay. All right. I'm on the Colts plus the points with a sprinkle on the money line for the Colts. I'm on the boys plus the points and sprinkle a little money line on the boys. They get lucky and pull that out. And then tomorrow I'm taking the Chargers money line and the points. And tomorrow I'm just with this game here, I'm just going to be on I'm going to be on the total under, and I'm not even going to take the points with the Philadelphia. I'm just going to take them money line. You know, it's going to be a smaller play though. But my bigger plays are going to be my two best plays are the Colts at the Chiefs and taking the Cowboys plus the points. Those are the two games tomorrow or today actually. And then tomorrow, like I said, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on San Diego, LA Chargers, and then and under in the New Orleans game. That's what I got.
We're gonna call this weekend cargo pants, man. Get your cargo pants out because you're gonna need more pockets to hold this cash. You know, these little regular pockets on the side ain't gonna happen. You need them big pockets in the cargo pants to hold all this money we're gonna make this weekend on these games. You know, we've been doing this all season long. It's like second nature to us right now. Guarantee some winners out of this show right now. You know, I approve and stand behind that 100% right here with my man Big Ragoo. Some wonderful people in the chat, man. I really appreciate everybody showing up, man.
Show love to the chat, and we'll be talking to them soon.
Yeah, and good luck with that pasta you putting together over there, man. Yeah, you know, make sure you get it real saucy over there. You enjoy yourself.
I'm going to sauce it up really nice. We're going to have to do some sauce when we get out to Vegas for the Super Bowl too, that's for sure.
For sure, man. So I'm gonna be over here and try to find me some fiddles. I had some gumbo last night. I might reheat the gumbo with add some more ingredients.
There you go.
Keep it going. But I don't know. I'm gonna relax today. It's raining. I don't really want to go outside in this mess. And I'm gonna chill back, watch some games, and make some money. But we're gonna get ready to sign out of here. Who-Bangin Sports talk live and direct on Who-Bangin Sports TV. DJ Bigboss. My man, Big Ragoo, we up in here, and we gonna get out of here. Anything you want to tell me before we go, Big Ragoo?
Just good luck to everybody and cash them tickets. See you next week.
Boom. We out of here.